Stay connected. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Tyler here from Goldwyn and Boyland. Thanks, Tim, for coming out. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about load management, and how you at home can handle and manage your load that you have with your own body. So, what is load? It's one of those terms that we really don't know that much about, or it's kind of, we all hear it, but we don't really know what exactly it is. So load is made up of a few things. You have your external load, which relates to your activity, exercise, things that you do to your body that in order to get some sort of beneficial gain. Then the harder to explain one is your internal load. This is related to things such as stress, how your body reacts to the exercise. And when I say stress, I don't mean just like emotional stress. I also mean physical stress, mechanical stress, mental stress, all the things that happen to your body due to an external stimulus being placed upon it. Both of the external and the internal part of it merge together to give you a total load number. Now, how this affects your physical standpoint is very complex and very diverse in nature. Depending on if you have an influx in high internal stress, high external stress, really affects your physical well-being and how you are presenting. So, for example, let's say you were going out for a run and afterwards your knees hurt, and you're like, why do my knees hurt? It could have been just a high amount of external stress. That would be the simple answer. But we also have to look at the internal stress and the internal load that you place on your body throughout the day, not just during the run. Did you have a rough day at work? Did you break up with your significant other during the day? Is there other limiting factors that you don't really place upon to the event of running and now my knees hurt, but it's something to also take into consideration? And especially nowadays with everything that's going on in the pandemic, and maybe there are certain things going on in your life that place you at a higher level of stress, and that internal load is even higher. It's even something more that we have to think about in managing not just your external load and how much activity you're doing, but also the internal side of things, the things that are a little harder to understand, but still something that we can take into consideration. So me and Greg, if you saw our video a couple weeks ago, we kind of talked to you about the foundations of movement and what you can be looking for in order before you start exercising. But I'm going to give you some things today that you can do to help address that internal side of things. So the first thing is, if you're in a good amount of pain, or you feel really stressed, run down, tired, or whatever, first thing you do is just stop, slow down, and breathe. Breathing is the most foundational aspect of life that we have. Without it, you don't have life. So it's super, super important that we just breathe, that we take a minute to just digest what's happening to us and just calm ourselves, center ourselves is the most important thing. So one tip that helps me is I place one hand on my chest, one hand on my belly button. I close my eyes and I clear my head, and all I think about is my breath. Take 5 deep breaths, as big as I can get them, as slow as I can get them, a time to decompress, and a time to clear my head of everything that's going on, and something that I think people at home can find beneficial in their own right. And another way, outside of just breathing, is finding some time for you, finding something that you enjoy to help decrease that stress. So if that's the weather's getting warmer and it's getting nicer outside, whether that's going for a walk or a hike outside, being in touch with nature, or whether that's doing something like listening to music, playing music, drawing, painting, watching a movie that you love on Netflix or any one of your streaming services that you have. Any one of those can be beneficial in helping decrease that internal load side of things and help getting you towards where you want to be. So thank you, Tim, for coming out again. Use those strategies in your life if you want to try and balance some out your load, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.
Stay connected. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.